Surprise! It isn't Monday or Wednesday, and I'm live. If you're catching the replay, you know what to do. Hashtag replay. Let me know you're here. I like to know. We're going to wait a while because this is not really a scheduled live. So I need people to have a chance to get on. So go grab your coffee or go to the bathroom or whatever you need to do. I'm going to go throw away the hair that I just pulled out my brush. Isn't that disgusting? Okay, hang on. Don't be judging because I have on my pajama pants. I am on fire, but I'm not in menopause, so why am I on fire? That's the question. That wasn't a beer. Just saying. Just saying. We got about a minute before let's just allow people to join. What do I need to do to this mop on my head? I feel like I need to shave my head and start over. That's what I feel like. Do you ever feel like that? You're like, every day my hair looks like crap, but I'm starting to bald, and I have never had a recede. Look, you can see where my hair normally is. I've never had a receding hairline. Is it because I'm getting old? Like, what the crap? And I told y'all this before, but both of my dad's sisters, like one of my dad's sisters is completely bald and she's alive still, but she's completely bald. And my grandmother had this like serious receding hairline on my dad's side. And my mother had very thin hair because she was diabetic. I am so paranoid of being bald. It is not even funny. But I keep telling myself, Judy, if you become bald, you will rock all these different wigs. Like I keep trying to tell myself that it's like going to be okay. But like it does not sit right with me when I start losing my hair, especially up here, because like, yeah, you can get extensions and stuff, but like you can't get extensions right here on your crown. You know what I'm saying? And they said I was not in menopause. So I'm not losing my hair because I'm in menopause, because that ain't happening. I'm not even close to menopause. And I feel a little paranoid. And so when I slick my hair back in a ponytail, I look like this is what I feel like. Okay, y'all don't laugh, but I feel like when my hair is like this, I feel like everybody that sees me in person, she wants to go. Like I look like you should smack me right here because I have so much forehead. I mean, look, you can see where I've lost my hair. What the heck? Who do I need to go to? The dermatologist? Oh my gosh. Maybe I should just the gene comes from my mother had thin hair, like super thin hair. As a matter of fact, like I can remember, but my mom was sick for so long, and my mom was in the bed for so long. You know what I'm saying? So like I need to find a picture of my mother. I'm gonna find a picture and show y'all what my mother looked like. Not I'm going to show you a picture of what she looked like before she was sick. And then I'm going to show you a picture what she looked like when she got sick, because I've told y'all this before, but my mom had, okay, she was 52 and the first stroke she had was in her brain stem. Okay, well, when you have a stroke in your brain stem, it affects both sides of your body. Okay, so the first stroke, it affected her face. So one side of her face, her eye was completely shut for 11 years. Like this eye was shut, this side was drawn, and this eye was open. So like for a kid, she scared kids if you didn't know her, because she looked really freaky because she had one big eye and this eye was like closed. And then it affected her right arm and her left leg. And if y'all have had experience with strokes, you know, once you have one, they just keep going until you die. Like it's awful. Like strokes, majority of the time, you don't just have one stroke and they stop. That's been my experience. But so like she learned how to walk with a Hemi walker, if y'all know what that is. And she had another stroke that was on the left side of her brain. So then it paralyzed her right leg. So then her left leg and right leg was paralyzed. So she no longer could walk on a Hemi walker. So then she became bedridden and we had to use a lift to lift her up out of the bed. And so she was, she had stroke, she had high blood pressure, diabetes, all this. So I felt like she lost her hair because she was sick. But see, her mother had hair, like a head full of hair. So I don't know, but do you go to the dermatologist for that? Like what causes hair loss? Stress? How do you stop? Like, okay, maybe that's what we should talk about today. Is when stress gets so bad that it causes hair loss or it causes physical pain. Because stress can cause hair loss. Stress can cause you to grind your teeth. Stress can cause an ulcer. Stress can cause IBS. And the reason I know this is because it's happened to me. Okay. Stress can cause you to feel bad. You know what I'm saying? So like, I sit here and think if I'm losing my hair look at that. You see how if I'm losing my hair because of stress, but see, like, you see how like right there is really white, but right here is kind of pinkish. Y'all, I might be bald. Wouldn't that be bad? Maybe it's because I'm curling my hair. And I keep telling myself I need to stop using the curling iron on the top of my head because I feel like I might be breaking it. Okay, I'm sorry I'm getting on this tangent, but like it's bothering me. As I don't know about men. Men bald. Does it bother if you're a man on here and you start like does it losing your hair bald like bother you? Because I think guys that are bald are so good looking. Like personally. Like I think a bald guy is so good looking. Like when he's smooth bald and has a little goatee. Like I think those guys are so good looking. Like Shane is hot as fire to me. Okay, he's not completely bald, but like I just love that look personally. But so if you're a man and you're balding, like that's a good thing to me personally. But like when a woman balds, it's not a good thing, right? So I don't know. I take vitamins. But it's really bald. I'm not in menopause. I went to the doctor. It's not menopause. So it's got to be stress or and I do wear extensions, but my extensions, they don't start up here. They start down here. So that's not it. It's not from extensions. I've worn extensions for years. It's not that. Mary, I like bald men personally. Like if you're a man and you're watching me, don't you let being bald upset you, because I think you are really good looking when you have no hair. That's just personally. Do y'all like bald men? I don't take ibuprofen. I take Tylenol. If I have like arthritis pain or something, I take Tylenol. I don't take all that. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. This is Honest Thursday, okay? I'm not doing well. And I don't usually say that out loud. I don't. I don't usually I try to hide it, and Lord, Diane can see through me like you can't even imagine. I feel like Diane is I feel like she's like my mother reincarnated. Like she can read through me like you cannot imagine. But I don't normally say I'm struggling. Like I don't normally say that because I don't want to. It's the reason I don't say that is because I don't want people to feel sorry for me, or I don't want people to try to give me words of comfort, because it don't work. Like when I'm not doing well, like I'm just not doing well. And today I woke up and I'm just not doing well. I literally got out of bed and walked straight to the struggle bus. And I put this, and I'm just, no, I forgot. Never mind. I put this comment out on one of the pages, I guess I should say. I put it out there because I was like, what do you do when you're on the struggle bus? And I want to know right now, when you wake up, I can't talk. When you wake up in the morning and you roll out of bed and you go from the bed straight to the struggle bus, I want to know what you do. Do you just stay on the struggle bus, or do you do something to get yourself off the struggle bus? That's the $1,000,000 question. That's what I want to know. I don't know if this has been on long enough. I want to see what your answers are. What do you do? Maybe you're not like me and never get on the struggle bus. That's not true. We all get on the struggle bus. So what do you do? Go buy a cute preaching stick? I mean, what do you do? Move my extensions up. Oh, I just saw that you had chemo and lost all your hair. I can only imagine. And I know that my aunt, when she lost all her hair, it came back super thin too, and it was curly. Chris, that is a great technique to keep yourself busy. I'll tell you, sometimes I get on the struggle bus and I don't know why I'm on it. That's like 99.9% of the time I have no idea why I'm on the struggle bus, because I don't recognize what's bothering me. Do y'all ever do that? You're like, what the crap? Especially like your spouse goes, what the crap is wrong with you? And you're like, what do you mean? You're so ill today. And you're like, and you don't, oh, shoot, you don't notice it. You know what I mean? Because you're just on the struggle bus and everything irritates you and everybody's on your nerve. I can't even curl my hair today. Like everybody's on your nerves. Lisa, that's wonderful. I get up, eat breakfast, head out to see what kind of day God's. Brenda, that is awesome. Weather affects my girl. Weather affects my mood too. They call some depression seasonal depression, because you get depressed by the seasons. Like maybe during the winter, you get super depressed because it's cold outside and you can't go get enough vitamin D outside, and you find yourself like staying inside, and then you sulk and you're on the struggle bus. They call that seasonal depression. I struggle with that too. Alyssa, that's awesome. You guys, I feel like y'all should go live and I should watch y'all. Maybe we should reverse this and one of y'all go live and let me go watch your lives. Sit down, count your blessings. It's hard. Kayla, will you put some of these up on the big? Well, you might be getting. I'm sorry, you're getting kids ready for school. Hang on, I will. Oh, she did it. She's already ahead of me. I forgot you're doing school. These all this advice that y'all are giving are excellent tools. Excellent tools once you get on the struggle bus. Christy, really? Yeah, medicine will do that. The only new medicine I'm on is Singulair. Oh my gosh, Julie Pappin. He hugs you. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Okay, so this is the deal. I woke up this morning, got out of the bed, went straight to the struggle bus, and then y'all, I was ready to give up. I was ready to give up social media again. That's how bad I was. I was like, I don't want to do social media. Kayla's supposed to come today, and I was like, Kayla can't come today because she can't see me like this. Like I can't do it. I don't want her to see. She's never seen a bad side of me. So I was like, I can't have Kayla over here today because I can't do it. I just need to get off social media for a while. Just take a time out. I was like in la land. You know, I went to Mars again this morning. I seem to be in Mars a lot lately. And so I had to sit here and go, Judy, what the heck is wrong with you? Go get you a Coke Zero and chill. Chill out. You need to go take a cool shower or something. Like you are terrible this morning. So I stopped myself and I said, what is wrong with you? And I glanced over to my table as I was trying to figure out what the crap was wrong with me. Because like I said, majority of the time I suppress problems and don't deal with them. And then they pile up. And then I get on the struggle bus and I have to break down to figure out what's wrong with me because I have suppressed all these issues and I haven't dealt with them. And I do that a lot. And the majority of the reason why I do that is because I think it's big. And this may sound boastful and I don't mean it, but I'm in the spotlight a lot. You know, people are at my farm. I'm on social media. Kayla's here. I have to be on my best behavior. I don't even get on the struggle bus when Shane's around. Like I say that about Kayla. When Shane's here, I try to be on my best behavior. I only let loose when I'm by myself. So like I always feel like now I will let loose when Larry's around. And I do vent to Larry a lot. But and he is such a great listener. So he is probably the only person that I let loose with. Like I can cry in front of him. I can tell him exactly what's wrong with me, good or bad. But like I feel like I have to be an example. You know how I told y'all yesterday that you guys put me on a pedestal because I'm a creator? You know how I told you that? I put myself on a pedestal. I put myself up here because I'm like, okay, I've got to be strong. I can't let people see the depressed, because I talk about the depressed side of me, but you've never actually seen it. You may have seen bits and pieces and you might try to figure me out and go, oh, she must be having a bad day. She looks terrible or whatever. You might see a video and you're like, oh Lord, she has no makeup on. She must be a train wreck today. Like you can kind of try to figure me out or whatever, but I'm not good at saying it. I'm good at holding it together, I guess I should say. But as I was sitting on the bed trying to figure out how to get off the stupid struggle bus, I glanced over and I saw this letter. And I was like, okay, that's one thing that's wrong with me. And what this letter is I wrote my brother a letter in jail. And all I said to him, my brother does not know. He knows I have a farm, but he hasn't been here. He hasn't seen, I don't know if he knows that about my social media. I mean, I know he knows I have Sneed's farmhouse because he thinks, that it's after him or whatever. But he hasn't, him and his family have not physically been here to see what all has happened with me. Me transforming from a city girl to a country girl. He hasn't physically seen it. So when I wrote him this letter, and I'll show you, the little thing, I sent him this little picture of Dexter, and then I just kind of wrote him a little sweet note. And I set it on the counter, and I was like, okay, I'm going to send it to him. And then something told me not to. I was like, okay, I don't need to send this to him. He thinks he wants to hurt me. Me and my other brother. And I was like, maybe this is not a good idea. You know how sometimes I talk about setting expectations. I'm setting expectations that he's been in jail for 3 weeks, and I'm setting expectations that he's back to normal because he's been sober for 3 weeks. And I'm setting these expectations that I'm going to send him this letter, and he's going to go, oh, Judy has a bull. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, I've got to go see what's going on with her life. I'm setting those expectations, and I don't know his demeanor. I don't know if he's I don't know if he's back in reality or he's not in reality. I'm not really sure. So I don't know if he still thinks, maybe he thinks I put him in jail, maybe. And so I started getting a little maybe I shouldn't send this because I might spark him when he gets out of jail. He might, I don't know. So I decided not to send the letter. I just addressed it and I put it on my counter, and maybe I pray for recovery for him, but I decided that I'm just going to sit it to the side and not send it to him. I think that's just God intervening, saying, you know what, Judy? And I thought about Jane. I thought about sending this to you. I thought about putting it in another envelope and sending it to Jane, to a safe place. And even though this is not addressed to Jane, I would put it on an envelope. But I kind of want to send it, but not send it to him, which makes absolutely no sense. So that was one thing that had me on the struggle bus, because I did this weekend. And here it is Thursday, and I told you I suppress things. So it was bothering me that I can't even send a nice letter. You know what I mean? And then you go, I don't know about you, but when you have an issue that you're dealing with that you suppress, then you bring everything down with you. So then you go into, this is what I do. I don't know. And this is what leads me to the struggle bus is I'm like, I've lost my brother. I haven't seen my brother in 7 years over stupid drugs. So then I get angry about the whole addiction issue. Then I go, well, if mom and dad were here, they would straighten him out. He would have never done this if my dad was still alive. Because my dad owned the business and my brother worked with him. So if my dad was still alive, my brother would have never gotten to this point in my brain. Okay. So then I go there, and then I'm upset because mom and dad are not here. Then I go back to anger, and I'm like, well, if dad wouldn't smoke stupid cigarettes, he'd be alive right now. But no, 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 we gotta smoke stupid cigarettes. So then I go into this rampage about cigarettes, and it just keeps going. And then I start feeling sorry. Well, if if mother would have quit eating stupid sugar, see, I get mad and I use words I shouldn't say. If mother would have ate right, and because my mom was diabetic, if my mother quit taking her insulin. So I'm like, well, if mother wouldn't have been stupid and she would have taken her insulin like she was supposed to and taken care of her body and got proper rest and went on a diet and exercised like she was supposed to, she would be here. And if her and dad were here, my brother wouldn't be on drugs and our family would be together. And oh, then I go into, you see how you just keep going? That's what ends you. That's what leads you to the struggle bus. It's because you just keep going. And then you go into you know, I go into Christmas. Well, mom, I have no family. Like my family is totally jacked up. I have no mom. I have no dad. I have no brother. I have no nephews. I go into La La Land to Mars, and I start getting, well, gosh, if mom and dad were here, we would all be together at Christmas. And no, because everyone's dead and on drugs, none of us. I go to Mars. I go to complete Mars over this. And this was instigated by me because I had expectations that I was going to send this card, and just like that, he was going to like be normal, and he was going to respond to me and write me back and tell me that his life has changed in jail and that he's back to normal thinking and he's not paranoid anymore. And yeah, see how I got my own self in trouble? Because I set up these expectations of what someone else was going to do. I do that all the time, y'all. I expect people to think like me. You know, I do. I expect people to think like me, and when they don't, I don't understand. I don't understand it. I expect people to go get counseling once a week. To me, everyone needs counseling. There's something that we're dealing with that keeps us on the struggle bus. And as a matter of fact, I have an appointment today. So when I woke up, let's talk about that. So when I woke up, and I found myself on the struggle bus and tried to break down what the crap's wrong with me. I saw the letter, but I was thinking in my head, surely that's not wrong. Like, what's wrong with me? I've been dealing with it for 7 years. Like, surely, like, I'm not going to get on the struggle bus for something that's been happening for 7 years. But see, we do. And what happened was, you know how, when you suppress things and don't deal with them, then when little things happen, for example, I suppressed my brother's letter, okay, and didn't really deal with it. Like I probably, how could I have dealt with this? I personally think I should have allowed myself to hurt and cry. I should have allowed myself time to grieve that what's happening in my family. I should have allowed myself to be gentle with me and allow myself to grieve, because it is a grieving process when someone is on drugs or in jail or not speaking to you or something. It is a grieving process, especially when it's a family member. So when I was sitting there, this I told you this happened this weekend. So I suppressed it. And then, I told you that yesterday that lady sent me the message that sent me it sent me to Mars. I came back from Mars, but it sent me to Mars. So then that was there, and I still, when there's no closure to an argument or a situation, like there's no closure, and someone like my brother or the person that sent me that message a couple of days ago, she blocked me, and there's no closure. You can't explain yourself. You can't like you have to let go, and it's not a smooth let go. It's like the person just cold turkey stops talking to you, and you have to go through the grieving process, and you start blaming yourself, or you try to figure out how to fix the situation, and then you find yourself that you realize that you can't fix the situation, and it takes a minute for you to get over. You know what I'm saying? um when it happens, then you start building. My son's texting me. I know. You find yourself obsessing about it. God bless him. My poor kid. My kid's on the struggle bus just like me. My kid's so funny. Oh my gosh. He's acting. I'll just tell you what he's doing right now. This is so funny. But so like when something exciting is happening in my life and it feels like nobody around me cares because they don't say anything, like maybe I'm in a say magazine and it comes out today and I want everyone to be excited and no one's excited. Then I send my kids a message and I'm like no one cares about me. Nobody cares what I'm doing. Nobody cares about my excitement. And I just get on this pity party and I laugh about it. And today my son is in a performance and it starts today. And he woke up and he said, no one cares about me. No, I thought I would get a message this morning telling me to do a good job today, but my family doesn't care. He's playing me. He's being funny. Okay, I'm sorry. I got on that subject. Anyway, when there's no closure, I find myself obsessing and I get into this spinning thing in my head trying to figure out how to fix it. When there's things that I can't control, I obsess about it until I finally have to put it to bed. But it takes me a long time to put something to bed when I can't fix it and someone blocks me or someone just cold turkey stops talking to me. I obsess about it. And I obsess about it for a long period of time. Sometimes it's years. Like it takes me a long time to get over something when I can't explain myself or I don't have a say in it. They just block me and I can't talk about it. So like that causes so basically, with my brother and the letter and then that person messaging me, I find that, and I don't think that I'm alone. I find myself when there's things that I can't control, I find myself letting other things tear me down. And then that's what causes you to go get on the struggle bus because multiple things happen and they build up because you don't deal with things. So when I woke up this morning and I figured out yesterday, I need to say this. Yesterday, when Kayla and I were here, the other platform, the red platform, well, no, both platforms, YouTube and Facebook, they both do this thing that I don't understand. And I was trying to figure it out yesterday. And I'm not going to go into details, but I was trying to figure it out yesterday. And so I had to go live to try to figure out what was happening. And then some people, you know how I tell you, okay, let's talk about what we need to fix. Like this situation, what is our takeaway? So what happens is someone watches a video, okay? Or you're scrolling through Facebook and you read something and you read the first sentence and you begin to judge them for their first sentence and you don't read the whole paragraph. You know, I tell you guys, when you listen to me, you can't listen to the beginning. You got to listen to the whole story. So either listen to my whole story or don't listen to me at all, because there is somewhere I'm going with this. I am trying to set a foundation for you to understand, because if I just tell you, if I just say I'm on the struggle bus and I don't tell you how I got on the struggle bus or how I got off the struggle bus, how are you supposed to understand? So like I I feel pretty good at telling a story. And but if you just listen to the first part, like let's say that I'm talking about discrimination, okay? And I tell you, back when I was a kid, I was taught this. So then I taught this to my children because I just took what I learned as a kid and I taught my kids this way. And that's what you listen to. And then you turn me off and go, this lady discriminates so bad, I will never listen to her again. Well, you didn't listen to the whole story, because it was a learning process for me not to discriminate, because I was taught to discriminate from when I was a little kid, because that's just what we did back then. We were taught not to hang out with these certain people, and that's what I was taught. And I think it comes from generation. So if you just listen to that, you might think that I discriminate if you don't listen to the whole story. So yesterday when I was live and I was trying to figure out what was going on with YouTube, I had no idea. And so then someone listens to the first couple of sentences and then they comment and rip me a new one, and I'm like, does she know what she's talking about? Like, did she listen to the whole thing, or did she just listen to the first couple of sentences of me saying, because what I said was, wait a minute. So YouTube allows you to go live and only lets people that are members of your page comment. Are you kidding me? That is a train wreck. And immediately I got off because I did not know that YouTube would allow you to do that. That was a train wreck. That was awful. That is not who I am. But someone listened to the first part and then made these ugly comments. And let me just tell you guys, let me tell you this. The people that answered her, you answered beautifully. You weren't mean to her. You didn't rip her a new one. You were kind and you were gentle. And I wished you know what? I'm going to call you out by name. Hang on. I got to go to it, because I'm going to tell you something. You answered exactly how I would want you to answer. You did not show rudeness. Let's see. Well, shoot. It don't tell. You know how YouTube doesn't say their names? It says user QY7. Okay. There were 1, 2. Margie commented. Dawn Marie commented. Margie, I don't know, LESARE 6509. Let me just tell you, y'all were dancing when you answered her, because sometimes when you guys are followers of pages and someone's ugly, you want to rip them a new one and go, you're not talking about my Aunt Judy that way, because that is not who she is. You want to rip them a new one. But these people that responded to this lady that was so, because she watched the first second of the video. And she created a comment when she saw that. You guys were dancing beautifully. You were so like this is the message. Let's see, where's it at? This is the first person that commented. So the lady just was upset and she told me that I was rude because I was allowing a video and everyone couldn't comment and she was mad. And so she was saying and this lady, I don't know whoever this is, I don't know the name, but it says, I want to apologize. I want to apologize for you feeling this way. Please rest assured, I don't think Aunt Judy would want anyone to feel not welcomed on her channel. See, like sometimes when someone wants to rip me a new one, you guys go to the defense mechanism. You want to rip into her because you don't pause. You know what I mean? You don't pause and you don't want to go, what? Okay. I found your live for members only very rude, very poor taste to make comments about non-members while we were not notified when we were notified for the video without the ability to comment. You guys paused, or maybe you're just kind. But see, I wouldn't have been kind. But you guys paused and you were kind and gentle. And that lady, I hope, feels welcome because you guys, I felt like, wow, these backup dancers are listening to me. It was every one of you, Margie and all the other people, you answered so kindly and so beautiful because you wanted that lady to stay in our group and you wanted her to go, it's okay. Like, that's not what Aunt Judy meant because you know me. But like this one lady that maybe doesn't know me quite as well, maybe she's a new subscriber. She doesn't know who I am. So she created this opinion. So that happened. I read that last night. And so I was like, oh my God. So what did I do? I was like, I better go delete this video because someone is taking it wrong. So all these little things led me to get on the struggle bus this morning, which is the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life. And so many times, little silly things like that, like little silly things as you interpret certain things the wrong way, they allow you to get on the struggle bus. And maybe you go to bed right before you go to bed, you know, I don't know, maybe someone makes a comment that's kind of rude to you. And then you wake up, you don't sleep well. And then you wake up and you just get right out of the bed and get on the struggle bus. And then if you're not careful, you'll find yourself staying on the struggle bus and it might last a day. It might last a couple of hours, but it might last for a year. I know back in the day when I used to get on the struggle bus, y'all, I would get on the struggle bus and stay for at least a year and couldn't get off the struggle bus. Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad. Oh my gosh. So I had to learn how when I wake, because I think it is normal to wake up and sometimes get on the struggle bus. That is normal. That is a normal reaction for us to do that. But see, we have to work together. You and I have to talk through some things because we have to work together to learn how to not stay on that struggle bus. Sometimes as a person, we need to allow ourselves to grieve. Maybe someone was rude to you. Maybe your child was rude to you or your grandchild was so rude to you and you're like, did they really just say that about me? So your child says something totally rude to you, your adult child, and then you sit and grieve over it for a long time. You know what I mean? And you're on the struggle bus about what they said to you. But see, In order to get off the struggle bus, Shane taught me this. When I first started Sneed's Farmhouse and I started doing tours and became a nonprofit, I was getting beat up. Oh my gosh, y'all. I was on a struggle bus every day because people were ripping me a new one. Like, and it was my chicken friends, and I love y'all. I love my chicken friends so much, and they were ripping me a new one. I mean, like there must have been 10 farms, and it was happening back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? And Shane said, Judy, I want you to stop. I am nearly out of makeup. He goes, Judy, I want you to stop, and I want you to go look in the mirror and tell me who you are. So I went to the mirror, and he goes, okay, someone said they're not a fan of your nonprofit gig. Judy, are you going to jail because you're robbing people being a nonprofit? I had been a nonprofit for like 3 days, okay? And the person said they were not a fan of my nonprofit gig. And I was like, no. He goes, have you ever stolen in your life? No. Have you ever gone to jail for stealing? No. And like he had to break it down to me because I believed everything these people were telling me, and none of it was anything true about myself. But like when it's your grandkids or your kids, and they're like, I'm just going to throw an example out there. Mom, you exaggerate everything. Or something like that. They rip you a new one, and then you're like, they leave your house, and you're like, oh my God, I exaggerate everything. My kids hate me. Now they're going to have my grandkids hating me. I'm not going to get to see you go straight to Mars because they said that. Instead of taking your Uncle Shane's advice and going, go look in the mirror and tell me who you are. That's what you need to do. When someone attacks you and tells you that you're this way, because you need to go look in the mirror and go, do I exaggerate? Because this was me. I used to get all the time from my family that I exaggerate. And it messed with me really bad. I mean, messed with my brain really bad. And so when I would go to counseling, I was like, I just exaggerate everything. I'm like, my family hates me. They say that, I made a big deal of a story. And so then as I went to counseling to learn how to deal with what my family was saying about me, I'm like, of course I exaggerate because I'm an actor. If I just said the story, if I went on here live and went, I'm on the struggle bus. I'm depressed. And I didn't put any expression with it. And I didn't put any of my humor with it. Or I didn't put any of my, because I use my arm. Like when I tell a story, I don't just sit here. Like I am very animated. My tone changes. I am an actor. I really think I should have been in New York. I really do. I really think I missed my calling. I think if someone would just listen to me and gave me a chance, I really think that I could have made it. Okay. I think I could have, but nobody would give me a chance. Okay. I didn't even try, to be honest. But I really feel like I can tell a story pretty well. And do I add a little bit to the story? Of course, because I'm trying to entertain. Like, it would be so boring if I just said, y'all, this lady ripped me a new one on Messenger. My brother is in jail. And you're going to go, if she keeps talking about all her issues, I'm going to quit watching her because she is a train wreck. Okay? But if I talk to you about it, I don't know. And we laugh about ourselves because we're all train wrecks. If we laugh about it and go, oh, I'm straight up in Mars today. Okay. I literally rolled out of the bed, got on the struggle bus, got off the struggle bus, and went straight to Mars. You know, like that. I tell a story that way. So I had to learn that my exaggeration, like that's how I tell a story. When I was born, I had really strong emotions. So what might not be a big deal to you is a huge deal to me because I have very strong emotions and I had to go learn what to do with my emotions because my emotions were all over the map. And this morning, when I got on the struggle bus, I realized that I was in emotional mind. If that seems like, if emotional mind seems like, what is that? What is she talking about? That is such a therapy word. It is a therapy word. But if you don't know what emotional mind is, I want you, when we get off here and you have a second to sit down and learn something, I want you to go learn what emotional mind is. That is so important to keeping yourself balanced. I talk about balance a lot. Emotional mind is crazy. And majority of the time, the reason I'm on the struggle bus is because I'm in emotional mind. What that is, I'll just kind of tell you in a nutshell. I realized that I'm probably going to get smacked in the forehead today. Okay, so if you see me with a ponytail, please just smack me in the forehead because I know that I'm all about a forehead these days, but my hair is driving me crazy. Emotional mind. Oops. Emotional mind is, you know how I get to Mars and because like your kid tells you that you exaggerate. And then you get an emotional mind because you have a feeling behind something that's negative that's said about you. Okay. So then you're in emotional mind and you allow yourself to go, my mom's dead, my dad's dead, I'm fat, I got a double chin, I've got a receding hairline that when people walk past me, they slap me on the forehead in dadgum Tractor Supply, like I am a train wreck. Like that is emotional mind. Emotional mind is when you're allowing your emotions to take over. And you're the way you feel it, like your kids telling you that you exaggerate, that's hurtful because when you hear the word exaggeration, you think that it means you're a liar. So it's hurtful when someone says you exaggerate everything. So like if you're sitting, your kids are over at the house and they're like, Mother, that is such an exaggeration. Mother, that is not what they said. Like stuff like that, and I'm not saying that my kids say that. I'm just trying to give you an example. But by what someone says to you, you have gone from, Mother, you exaggerate everything, to, I cannot control my eating. I'm fat as crap. I have a double chin. Someone's going to hit me in the forehead in Tractor Supply. I don't even know I have a farm. I can't afford it. I'm broke as crap. I can't afford it. And I'm, you know what I'm saying? You go to Mars when you're in emotional mind. And it's important. You know how I tell you to learn the word pause? And I had a couple people on here that says, I don't know how to pause. Let me just tell you something. If you don't learn how to pause, you're going to be a train wreck. Just say, you're going to be a complete train wreck because you're going to say and do things that you should not do because you're in an emotional mind. When you get an emotional mind, and I mean, it can be someone sends me I see let's say I see a comment that's negative. I will go straight to emotional mind and have myself I am obese. I have no reason to live. I shouldn't even have a farm because I don't know what the crap I'm doing. I'm a terrible daughter. I don't even know why I'm married. I have no reason to be married because why do I even have social media? Because no one listens to me. No one. We go to Mars, and that is from emotional mind because we tell ourselves all this crap that is not it's not true. Speaking of exaggeration, emotional mind will make you exaggerate. And it causes you to feel things that are not real and tell yourself things that are not real. And when I get into emotional mind, I always bring in I'm fat because you know that I struggle for a long time with the eating disorder. So I go straight to I'm fat as crap and can't control myself. I do. And when I get in emotional mind, my doctor taught me this is so crazy. But my doctor taught me when I go to I am fat as crap, like I should be embarrassed for being on a video because I am fat as crap. She taught me to go get my blue jeans or my pants or whatever and put them on. If my pants fit, I am an emotional mind. If my pants are so tight that I have to lay on the bed and suck up my gut to zip the zippers up, then maybe I'm not an emotional mind. Maybe I really am fat and maybe I really need to watch what I eat. But if my blue jeans fit me and I can button and zip them up and breathe, then I'm in emotional mind and I need to quit saying that I'm fat because it's not necessarily the case. I'm stuck in emotional mind. And sometimes when you get into emotional mind and you start telling yourself that I don't know, when you start telling yourself that you're a train wreck, okay, and stuff like that, like we tell yourself you're a train wreck and no one wants to be around you, and the reason you don't have no friends is because you're not a good friend, and like the reason your kids don't come around is because they don't like you because you're not good to be around. Like all that crap that you tell yourself and you allow yourself to go get on Mars and you've carried all this baggage with you to get to Mars is the moment that you need to stop and go, okay, I am officially in Mars. I have gotten off the struggle bus and have gone to Mars. Getting on the struggle bus and getting off the struggle bus is what, 3 steps? Like to get off the bus is like 3 steps. Well, to get back from Mars, like you can't just get a parachute and parachute down and make it a quick fall. Like it takes you getting on a rocket and coming back to planet Earth. So it takes a lot longer to come back to Earth from Mars as it does a struggle bus. So it's a lot better to be on the struggle bus than to go to completely Mars. So I didn't completely go to Mars this morning, which was a good thing. I just said, you know what? I'm on the struggle bus over this stupid letter and about 2 comments that were said to me. And if you're watching, you go, Judy, quit worrying about negative comments. Don't worry about stuff like that. You're wasting your breath because it's what creators do. We work so hard, and then when someone rips us a new one, and you're like, lady, do you have any clue how hard it is to do this? Do you have any clue? Like when people give me a negative comment, I'm going to start asking for their phone number because I want to talk to them. I want them to know who I am. And no other creator would do that but me. But I'm going to start saying, can I please have your phone number so that we can talk this out? And then they'll block me and I'll never have to hear a negative comment again. But it is natural. It is natural when someone says something negative to you. It is natural for you to stew over it or to go get on the struggle bus It is natural. If your kids, say things to you, like I've had a lot of people that follow me talk about their kids' relationships with their adult kids, and I've had people talk about like like when you become a grandparent, how you have to tiptoe around your kids because if you piss your kids off, you can't see your grandkids. I have a friend that's dealing with that, and he's he's awful because you think you love your kids. Wait till those grandkids come. Oh my god. Oh my god. And so when this lady that called me yesterday, um, that was dealing with that, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when my kids have kids. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If my kids keep me from seeing my grandkids, I will bust up in their house and rent them a new one. And she was like, Judy, you're not going to be able to do that. Watch me. Do you ever piss your kids off and can't see your grandkids? I'm telling you, I told both my kids, I said, if you ever do this to me, I will haunt you. I will haunt you. It's funny when you become a grandparent how things are so different. Because sometimes when you're a grandparent, you think you're the parent. You're like, that's my grandkid. You better back off. Don't be talking to my grandkid that way. Like you're talking to your son, and you're like, don't you dare say that in front of my grandkid, and you're like, oh, yeah, I ain't the parent. I'm the grandparent. So I was talking to her about stuff like that and how hard it is when you're a grandparent to keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Because we know it all, The reason I close my eyes because I'm blind in one eye. If you're wondering, I can't see out that eye. Anyway, I hope that you've helped me get off the struggle bus today. I didn't go to Mars, but I was on the struggle bus. And you joining me this morning, I don't think you realize how valuable you are to me. When you show up, you're dancing because it is not Shane. It is not my kids. It is not my dad. It is you that keep me going. You lift me up. You keep me going. You mean so much to me. It is not even, I wished I had the perfect words to say so that you would understand how important you are to me. And it's not like it's just Brenda that's important to me or Christy or Mary. You all are. Like, you know how, like I was in sports my whole life. So I learned teamwork from a young age. And I think that is so important to kids to learn teamwork because one person cannot do it alone. Like if I'm trying to spread a message, if I'm trying to teach people to dance and dance being make a difference in someone's life and not staying on the struggle bus and not going to Mars and not like getting rid of your demons, those demons that live in your closet, get rid of them. I don't care what age you are, get rid of them. Live your life to the fullest. I don't care if you're 75 years old. You have time to get rid of all those demons in your closet. I can't spread that message. If I just got on here without y'all, I couldn't spread that message. But when you get on here You keep me going. You go share my post, or you go tell people that struggle with mental health, hey, you should listen to Aunt Judy. She struggles with mental health too, and she talks about how she got to where she is today. Or you have a teenage daughter that's in a relationship issue, and you're like, hey, I need you to go listen to Aunt Judy. She's been married 4 times. She's a train wreck. Okay. She talks about it. She's a complete train wreck. She's just like you. Okay. Like when you do that, that keeps me going. I can't do this alone. We are a team. All 72 of you, we are a team. It is not like it's just Judy dancing. I can't do it alone. It is so much better to dance with a team. And I feel like we learn together, you know? Because we all have people say negative things. It ain't like it's just like you can say, Judy, quit worrying about those negative comments. You get them too. It ain't like it's just me because I'm a creator. People tell you how crappy you are. Your kids or your family or your friends or the lady at Walmart or the person behind you beeping the horn, get your butt out of the way. You deal with negative comments too. It's not like it's just me because I'm a creator and I shouldn't worry about it. No, I'm a human being just like you. When someone says something negative to us, it is normal for us to react the way we react. You can't tell someone not to worry about it because that's not how life works. We have to process it. We have to pause. We have to break it down. Like if someone's behind you beeping the horn telling you that you can't drive, does that mean you need to go put your keys up and call it quits? No. But they could ruin your day. If they're beeping at you, shooting you the bird and telling you to get out of the way, you're an old lady, you don't need to be driving, that hurts your feelings. And it might take a minute for you to process that rude comment that was said to you because maybe you are elderly and maybe you do feel fearful of driving, and then this person behind you just put a stamp on that you don't need to be driving or whatever. It is normal for when someone says something negative to you. It is normal to get on the struggle bus sometimes and go, this didn't feel good. For that person that shot me a bird in the parking lot because they said I couldn't drive. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's normal. But it's not normal when you go to Mars with it. And that's what me and you have to figure out how to do, is not go to Mars, because it takes forever to get a rocket in Mars to get you back to daggum Earth. Okay? We don't need to do that. It's okay to get on the struggle bus, but it's not okay to stay on the struggle bus. That's where we get ourselves in trouble, is when we get on it and we stay on it. And I hope today, as we've sat here for this past hour, I hope that if you are on the struggle bus, I hope that maybe a little bit of encouragement will help you get off of it and let you know that you're not alone, because your Aunt Judy got on the struggle bus this morning too. But we can get off together. We can hold each other's hand and we can get off together and go, you know what? And I'll tell you what I did this morning to get off the struggle bus. I'll make it quick. I called Caring for Kids. It's an organization here in Coleman. It's a food bank. And I sent them an email and I said, I would like to donate all my eggs to y'all each week. And I said, how do I go about arranging to make sure that these families in need get eggs, fresh eggs? That was my way of dancing. And that got me off the struggle bus, because then they're either going to come here every week to get my eggs and I'm going to donate these eggs to people in need, or I'm going to take them to the Caring for Kids office, which I've done this before. We did it last year, but I want to give back. And me being on the struggle bus, it helped me get off the struggle bus to figure out what I can do to dance today. And that's what I chose to do, is because I'm getting like 3 dozen eggs a day. And there's so many families in Coleman that are in need. And that was my way of getting off the bus to distract my brain from negative thoughts. So I hope today that you will find some way to dance. All I had to do is make a simple email. I didn't have to get out of the house. I didn't have to, all I did was send an email and say, I want to donate all my eggs to you. So if you're the type that can't get out of the house and like, there's nothing I can do to dance today. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Sometimes it's just something little. You know, I tell you this, a phone call, um, something, a quick note, people love notes, a handwritten note, stick a stamp on it and stick it in the mail. An old friend you haven't talked to in a long time. You know, maybe you call someone that's struggling themselves. Maybe you've got a friend or a loved one that's on the struggle bus. Maybe you can hold their hand and get off the struggle bus. There's something that you can do to dance today. Maybe you physically get up and dance. Maybe you turn on some music and physically get up and dance. Dance comes in all different ways. Figure out how to dance today. I will see you this weekend. Love y'all. Bye.